Hey guys, so as you know, Game of Thrones coming to an end, and I kind of wanted to give my prediction on the next installment, but not just the next installment, but also the whole Game of Thrones franchise to begin with. So as we know, in the works they already have a Game of Thrones pre-Game of Thrones. What I realized is Game of Thrones is basically trying to do a Star Wars thing. You know, when Star Wars came out, we started out episode 4, 5, and 6, and Game of Thrones, it's kind of the same thing, but in a TV format. And currently, they're attempting to do, in the works, there's the idea where they're gonna go back when the first. It's really windy today. It's pushing my tripod. So it's currently in the plan. They're gonna go back way before the Mad King. Way before that, they're attempting to go back to when the first kingdoms were formed under Targaryen rule, of course. And essentially, what they're gonna do is basically episode 1, 2, and 3, just like Star Wars. And of course, we already know this, but what I'm predicting is that what they're gonna do now after that series is they're gonna jump ahead and they're gonna do the whole episode 7, 8, 9, just like Star Wars. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna set it up. What I believe is they're gonna. Well, first of all, we know Daenerys can't have any more kids because when she sacrificed her baby to save her husband, Khal Drogo, and that really didn't turn out right, or it didn't turn out the way she thought it would. But essentially, she cannot get pregnant again, and we know this because she apparently has been having sex a bunch of times, especially with recently Jon Snow. But the thing is that the thing is, I feel that she's gonna try to pull, like, they're gonna pull a Virgin Mary type of miracle, or she is gonna get pregnant with Jon Snow's baby, and with that, well, you can pretty much surmise that episodes 7, 8, and 9, or, well, you know, the whole idea of them copying Star Wars, is gonna be about the kid. Another theory is that her dragon, Drogo, her dragon, Daenerys' dragon, primary dragon that she usually rides, disappeared during season 6, I believe, and it was basically gone for what we can account for as months and months at a time. Because when she landed in the Slaver's Bay, Slaver City, and after she freed it, the dragon left and didn't come back for a while. And I feel that the dragon went out and had, like, laid some eggs, because they don't really discuss the genders of the dragons at all. He disappeared for a while, okay? She disappeared for a while and then came back presumably months later, because, you know, people forget that the timeline crosses over like 5 years. And that being said, and that being that the eggs can actually stay in a form of hibernation, they don't technically rot or spoil or die. Basically, they're stones. And so, as you know, that the dragon eggs and Daenerys, the eggs were from thousands of years, hundreds of years ago, and we know that from hundreds of years ago because it was stated in a series that the dragons over time became smaller and smaller till they were the size of cats. And considering the Daenerys' 3 dragons were fully grown, they were capable of being fully grown. It's pretty much it basically puts them at a point where the eggs were laid prior to the other dragons, the entire dragon species shrinking over time. Drogo, still don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly, but essentially flew off, laid eggs somewhere hidden, essentially setting it up for episodes 7, 8, and 9 in my theory. And of course, that coupled with Daenerys pulling a Virgin Mary, sort of, and having Jon's baby sets up perfectly for the following season. And of course, we won't know this until episode, I believe there's 2 episodes left. And of course, this may or may not be explained in the last 2 episodes. And it's something we have to wait and see. But that is my theory, that Game of Thrones is going to attempt to pull Star Wars. First, starting in the middle, then pronouncing they're going to start at the beginning, back at when the 7 kingdoms were formed under Targaryen house, and then they're going to go forward and continue off where essentially the first Game of Thrones series began or ended, with Jon Snow's kid with Daenerys. Now you do have to remember that the episode's basically going to end with someone being on the throne. And that being said, they might try to pull like a Star Wars, like a Star Wars where Anakin lost his hand and then Luke lost his hand, and they're doing that father-son thing. And my theory is that they will have a baby, but the baby will be hidden, meaning that neither Daenerys nor Jon will be on the throne, and their offspring is going to be swept away. I don't know if it'll be all the way on the other side of the world, or if it'll be back at the north with House Stark as another bastard baby, like Jon. Jon didn't know until later on, and they might try to pull the same thing, once again, like the Anakin and Luke thing. Presumably, if Daenerys and Jon have a baby, and it's not technically a bastard, of course, because Jon was never a bastard, the baby might be hidden away, labeled as a bastard in some far off land. If they try to pull a Star Wars where Anakin was born on the desert planet and Luke was born on the desert, well, not born on a desert planet, but grew up on a desert planet, and they want to continue this whole Star Wars thing, then Jon and Daenerys' baby will be in a desert. I mean, not a desert. Will be in the snowy terrain. But at the same time, Daenerys was born in the 7 kingdoms in the south. Basically, I feel that they're gonna try to pull like a Star Wars thing with all the bells and whistles. I mean, heck, maybe Jon Snow and Daenerys' baby, son or daughter, might get stabbed, die, come back to life in essentially what would be episodes 7, 8, and 9. But who knows? Alright, so guys, that's my theory on the future of the Game of Thrones series. But in order for that to be set up, the next 2 episodes would be critical to figure out if a theory like that would actually hold truth. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think will be in your predictions for the last 2 episodes, whether or not they're going to set up a potential storyline for future episodes, not necessarily the Jon and Daenerys, but perhaps their kids, or perhaps even Cersei's kid. It could be one of those Pokemon things, You got Ash Ketchum in the north, and then you got whatever they're gonna name Cersei's baby, incest baby. Although more than likely, once the baby is born, it will take on the name Greyjoy, along with the titles and lands and all, the whole shebang. First of the Andals, 7 kingdoms, king or prince at the beginning, depending on when they want to start the story, whether they're going to be a child, Jon and Greyjoy's the Prince Greyjoy. And yeah. Alright guys, let me know what you think in the description, whether you believe my theory will hold true, or you have your own theory on what you believe will happen. Alright, have a good day.